Hello everyone, welcome to the When It Worked podcast. You're with the host Julian Leahy. Today I'm joined by the fantastic Simone Knego and Yosi Kossowsky. Welcome to the show, guests.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Alright, don't be nervous. We're going to have fun, and it doesn't matter if you're no good at quiz either. Let's load up the board. Alright, I'll read the categories out. Weapons, guts, which I think are words with gut in them. We'll find out. Bridges, English literature, ghosts, and homophones. You can kick things off, Simone, being in the hot seat. What would you like?
Let's go for guts for 100.
So you're not in the hot seat, but it doesn't matter. Simone starting. Name for street urchin probably derived from where they are said to live. Word with gut in it. Name for street urchin, probably a homeless person. In the 80s, we used to call them unkind things. This is from the 80s, this question. Name for a street urchin, homeless person, probably derived from where they are said to live. Where do homeless people end up? Sometimes.
Something to do with gutter. What is gutter rats?
I'm going to accept gutter snipe. I'm going to accept that because that's a bit bizarre. All right, points there for Simone Knego. You're in control. What would you like?
Let's do guts for 200.
Guts for 200. Adjective describing sounds of German to non-English speakers English. Adjective describing sounds of German and to non-English speakers English.
Guttural.
Guttural is correct. Well done, Simone. You're on fire. Showing lots of guts in this category. What would you like?
I guess let's do one more guts. Guts for 300.
Guts for 300. U.S. naval officer famous for saying, "Damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead." Isn't it man the torpedoes? U.S. naval officer famous for saying, "Damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead." Who's a famous U.S. naval officer? Probably from either World War II, possibly Vietnam. I don't think we had too many torpedoes in Vietnam. A gut. Gutkinson. I don't know. Let's have a look. It is Farragut. Farragut? Okay.
There you go. Okay, now we know.
Now we know. We're learning all the time. Simone, what would you like?
Let's do ghosts for 100.
Ghosts for 100. And Yosi, you can jump in if you know the answer. The 999 ghosts at the mansion in this Anaheim landmark tell visitors there's always room for one more.
What is the haunted mansion?
The haunted mansion. It is at Disneyland. That's correct, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, well, the mansion is the more correct answer. I'm going to have to talk to whoever did these questions. Oh, it was me. All right, you're still in control, Simone.
Let's do ghosts for 200.
Ghosts for 200. Creators of Casper say this film's logo plagiarized one of their characters. An 80s movie. An 80s smash hit comedy. And the creators of Casper said...
Can I go?
Go for it, Yosi.
What is Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters is correct. Yossi's on the board for 200. Well done, Yosi. You're in control. What would you like?
Let's do weapons for 100.
Weapons for 100. Weapon Dorothy used to kill the Wicked Witch of the West.
What is water?
Oh, that was a dead heat. Who got that, do you think?
Doesn't matter. You choose.
I tell you what, I'll give it to Yosi just because he was in control. And, you've already got a couple correct. Yosi, you're still in control. What would you like?
All right, let's do weapons for 200.
Weapons for 200. 21 or a thug's bludgeon. 21? Well, a thug might use a sporting apparatus.
A bat. What is a bat?
Yeah, I don't know what the 21 means. Let's take a look. It is a blackjack. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yes, I've heard of a blackjack.
As a weapon? Okay, interesting. Were you still in control, Yosi? What would you like?
All right, let's try ghosts for 300.
Ghosts for 300. Silver City, Idaho, and Bodie, California, for example.
What are ghost towns?
Ghost towns.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And that is correct. Well done, Simone. You're back in control.
Let's do ghost for 400.
Ghost for 400. In the Superman TV series, this is the old one from the 50s, I think, editor Perry White frequently invoked this spirit.
What is the Holy Spirit?
The Holy Spirit. Let's take a look. Caesar's ghost. In the name of Caesar. What are you doing, Superman? Things like that, probably. Well, you're still in control, Simone, Knego.
Let's do ghost for 500.
Ghost for 500. In Shakespeare's play, Ghost who sat in Macbeth's place at the banquet table. I'm so bad at these Shakespeare ones. Was there a ghost in Shakespeare's Macbeth? Does anybody know? It'll be something we know because it's used in common language. Let's take a look. It
With the king?
is Banquo. Never heard of it. Still in control. What would you like?
There we go.
Let's do bridges for 100.
Let's go over to Bridges. 100. It connects the three boroughs of Manhattan, Queens, and the Bronx.
What is the Triborough Bridge?
The Triborough Bridge. I thought it was the Brooklyn Bridge. It is the Triborough Bridge. Well done there, Yosi. Are you an East Coaster?
Yes, I am.
Ah, there you go. What would you like?
Let's do bridges for 200.
Bridges for 200. Name of bridge mentioned in the following song. Bobby Gentry. It was the 3rd of June. Another Sleepy Dusty. Never heard of that. It's probably some ancient song. Bobby Gentry. It was the 3rd of June. Another Sleepy Dusty. What bridge? Well, Dusty might be a clue. Is there a bridge out in Vegas or out in the desert? Who knows? Let's take a look. It is
Let's see.
Tallahatchie Bridge. Heard of that one?
I have not.
No.
Probably in pieces by now. You're still in control there, Yosi. No, I think you are.
Let's try.
You are.
Yeah, let's try guts for 400.
Guts for 400. He, along with Joel Cairo and Bridget O'Shaughnessy, sought the Maltese Falcon. Gut.
He along.
Oh,
What's the actor's name?
Is there an actor called Kurt somebody?
Yeah, Kurt Vaughn? No, I don't know. Yeah, but there is a...
I'm thinking... Do you have any idea, Simone?
No, I don't know.
I'm going to go Kurt Vonnegut.
Kurt Vonnegut, or Vonnegut, yeah.
No, I was wrong. Casper Gutman. Lots of Caspers today as well. Yeah. Well, you're still in control, Yosi.
Let's try bridges for 300.
Bridges 300. Peruvian Bridge, which collapsed Friday, July 20, 1714, in Thornton Wilder's novel of the same name, Something Bridge, in Peru.
The Peruvian Bridge?
Good answer. I mean, you know, it's got to be. It's the Bridge of San Luis Rey. Pretty obscure.
Right.
All right, well...
Except for that you made up these questions, so there you go.
Yeah, these are from actual Jeopardy. They're quite hard.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yosi, you're in control still. What would you like?
I don't even know what homophones is going to be. Let's try homophones for 100.
Are you a little bit homophonic? let's do. Was it 100?
Yeah, 100.
Excuse my dad jokes. Achilles died because his wound here would not do this.
Heel.
No,
What
I
is
got it.
heel?
Ah, gotcha. And then Achilles heel. So it's two words that sound the same but are spelt differently. Heel and heel. And we're going to accept heel. Well done there, Yosi. You're on fire. You're on 500 points. Catching up to Simone 700. What would you like?
Let's try homophones for 200.
Homophones for 200. Only a few of these in the Pennsylvania coalfields are under 18 years old. Only a few of these in the Pennsylvania coalfields are under 18 years old.
Minors.
Minors and
What is
minors.
minors? Yeah.
Well, that's a bit depressing. Hopefully they're not still...
Right?
yes.
Under
Well,
18.
you got it. You got it. Well done.
Let's do homophones for 300.
Yeah, this is a fun category. A big kiss upon parting, or the greyhound that carries you away.
What is a bus? No. Puss? I don't know.
What do we call the big greyhound? Bus? Bus? Well, I mean, it's got to be bus, but is it a name for a big kiss? Let's take a look. Yeah, bus is B-U-S-S, is another name for kiss.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah, look at
done,
that.
Yossi. Would you like to get...
Let's keep on this going. Yeah, let's do 400 homophones.
Homophone 400, vacationing on a ship or people that staff them.
What's a staff? Oh, no. What is a crew?
What
Cru-
is a passenger?
Cruise or cruise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cruise.
Well done, Yossi. You're in control. What would you like?
Let's do 500.
500 homophones, emotional state of a cow who bellowed.
Blue.
Let's take a look. Mood or mood.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yossi, in control. What would you like?
Yeah. Let's do. God, I don't know English literature at all. All right, Simone, you'll get this hopefully. What is English literature for 100?
I won't be able to help you here. A.E. Houseman heard a wise man say, "Give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not this away." Don't
Handouts?
give this away.
What is handouts?
I would say try and make it rhyme. Heard a wise man say, "Give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not pounds." We've already said pounds. Okay.
Yeah, pounds and guineas, but not with
Pennies?
frowns.
Bills,
Okay.
dollars, pennies. All right. So Simone said pennies.
Yeah.
Let's take a
And I
look.
said frown.
You said frowns.
Yeah, frown.
That's a good answer. I like that. It's heart. Don't give your heart away. That's
Oh.
bad advice. You should give your heart away. All right, Yossi, I think you're still in control.
All right. Let's do weapons for 300.
Weapons for 300. Curare is added to this projectile to give it that little extra shot.
What is gunpowder?
Well, it's projectile. What's the projectile?
What is a bullet?
Let's take a look. Blowgun dart.
The dark.
Oh, it's kind of like a poison dart. Yossi?
Yeah. All right. What is guts for 500?
Guts for
We're going to get
500.
into the
Botanical
tough
name for plant sweat from Latin word for droplet. What's the botanical name for plant sweat? Latin word for droplet. Starts
What is
with
dew?
it's got gut in it. We're in the guts category.
Oh,
Latin word for droplet, gutlet. Let's take a look.
what is gut?
Guttation, guttation.
Okay, would not have gotten that.
These are really hard.
They are hard.
questions.
All right. We'll do. How long have we been going for? We'll do one more question and we'll wrap it up. Yosi.
Okay. Weapons for 400.
Weapons for 400. Last question. The weapon which killed this first murder victim was never revealed.
Who is Cain?
Who-
Who's Cain? Who's
What was the weapon?
um
Well, it was never
hands,
revealed.
It was never revealed.
Is this from the Bible? Cain and Abel?
It would be the first one. Cain and Abel.
Now, what was their occupation?
One was a farmer.
Yep.
And one was
What about a machete?
Machete?
Sorry, shepherd's hook.
What is a scythe?
Yeah, I was thinking shepherd's hook, or what did you say, Yosi?
A scythe.
Scythe. Okay, let's take a look. Scythe sounds good. That sounds pretty deadly.
Yeah,
It
sounds
was-
fancy.
Oh, Abel was the first victim. I could have helped you a bit better with that. All they wanted to know was who it was, which we did work out. Let's wrap it up
I
there.
did say it was Abel.
You
Cain and
did?
Abel.
All right. The final scores are Yosi 1200 and Simone on 900. That was a close game. Some hard questions. Some good answers. Thanks to our wonderful guests. Let's wrap up the game. And let's go over to Yosi. Yosi, tell us all about what you're up to. You're a coach. You've had lots of experience and specializing in leadership. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually started off my career in IT and then in engineering. And it was in the engineering role where I started leading some people that I got feedback. I wasn't good at it. And I became really curious about human behavior. Like, how come this wasn't an obvious thing, how to lead people? And that led me to study neuroscience and emotional wellness therapy, where I learned a lot about people and what is the things that drives our behaviors, our actions, our reactions. What is the role of perception on how we see and understand and interpret our world and therefore act in that way? And once I learned that and I started using those skills in the workplace, I became really fascinated with what I call human engineering rather than technology engineering, and made that my career.
And
to really help people.
Yeah, so that's interesting. You found out that it wasn't something that you knew a lot about at one point, and you sort of decided that you needed to teach yourself and learn more about it. And you've made a kind of connection with the neuroscience aspects of it, and I guess self-awareness is the key. And what's the connection between the self-awareness and neuroscience?
So the whole idea of self-awareness, when we understand this idea and understand the mechanics of how the brain works and how the body functions, what is actually happening in the brain when we are seeing and interpreting our world, that was very fascinating to me, to understand not just the idea of self-awareness, but how does it actually work in the brain.
Interesting. A very engineering way to approach it. And
very much.
And what were some of the key things, I guess, in communication and things like that? What are some of the keys to becoming better at leading people?
So to me, the number one skill is curiosity rather than assumption and judgment. The more that we are curious about what we see, what we hear, and not assuming we understand or we know another person's thoughts or motivations or reasons, then the more effective we are.
Yeah, and I like it how you said not judging, like just say somebody is not doing what you want them to do. And there's the moment that you are in any way critical, even if it's justified, it's kind of the wrong way to go, isn't it? What's the right way to get your message across, that you want to understand where they're coming from so that you can help them improve? How do we broach the subject in a way that won't make the person resent us?
the one of the tips that I often share with leaders is really using curiosity and using questions rather than statements. So, for example, hey, Julian, I want you to go do this job. Julian, I'd like your thoughts about what it would take to get this job done.
Yeah, awesome.
It's still the question, but using it as a question rather than as a statement often has a much better reaction from others.
It's good, and it's not what can we get out of you to do it? It's what's it going to take, and you're asking the person for some feedback. It's like that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which I really love. In terms of basically, it's a great leadership book because it's like what Yossi's talking about. You have a certain goal that you want to help somebody get to, and what's the best way that we can approach the subject. And as Yosi has said, asking questions rather than sort of being a dictator, I suppose. And who do you work with mostly, Yosi?
I mostly work in the corporate world with people who are either aspiring leaders or leaders from first line manager all the way to CEOs, CTOs. I often find myself working really well with people that are more data driven or more logic driven, because that's where I came from. So I understand how I made that leap and how that changed through that process. And I find that I can really understand that experience and help them become more effective in creating followership, in guiding people to success.
That's interesting, Yosi. So were you a kind of software type engineering person, tech guy? Is that what you were?
Yeah, so software and hardware engineering, building large systems for different companies. Yep.
Yeah, that. I tell you why that's interesting is because in the software industry where you've got people like with SaaS startups and ideas and they're building them out, there's this huge schism between the tech way of thinking and then the people that are, I guess, the kind of selling the system to the end user, the customer. And sometimes there's a real problem with communicating. It's almost like two different languages, Mars and Venus, the engineers versus the other people. And it's very good to have somebody who's got a background in the tech side who has then branched out and specialized in the kind of soft skills. So I think that gives you a bit of a unique advantage. Do you work with a lot of tech people?
Yeah, I luckily have found that, as you say, it's a good marriage. And as the world becomes more and more integrated and the tech leaders need to play other roles other than just leading their tech teams, they are finding that they need a bridge to get those skills. And so I do have that opportunity.
And how does it work if somebody is thinking, I want to have a chat to Yosi? They can jump on your website and then they book a call with you? Is that how it works?
Generally honestly, the more effective way of getting hold of me is through LinkedIn rather than the website at this point in time.
All right. Yeah, I've got your LinkedIn details there. So if you're in that area perhaps and you've got a few challenges in terms of leadership and building a team and all of those things which you need to navigate, and you want to speak to somebody who's got quite a few years in the tech side as well, I think Yosi would be a good one to talk to. Have a chat to Yosi and see what you can come up with. Thank you, Yosi Kossowsky.
Thanks, Julian.
Wonderful. All right, let's pop over to Simone Knego and tell us about your book, The Extraordinary Unordinary You, and the other book.
Yeah, so I wrote my first book in 2020, and it really is all about realizing what you're capable of and recognizing that the little things that we do every day matter. It's stories. I have 6 children. We adopted our youngest 3, so they're adoption stories. I climbed Kilimanjaro in 2015, and that was really a turning point for me in my life because I didn't realize how much self-doubt I was filled with my entire life. And and that moment kind of changed everything. So it's a lot of those stories, and for mostly women to use to really read about and to help them see what they're capable of. And then I'm working on my second book, which is all about building unshakable confidence.
Awesome. Well, just going back to Kilimanjaro. Now, that's the biggest mountain in Africa. Is that correct?
It's the tallest mountain, and it's the highest freestanding mountain in the world. So obviously not connected to anything else. The nice thing about Kilimanjaro is it's not a technical mountain. So it's really just about overcoming the altitude, because it is 19,341 feet. So I live at sea level, 12 feet above sea level in case of a storm surge in Florida. But it was a very difficult climb, but it was life-changing for me. It was something that was never on my bucket list, and obviously something never that I thought that I was capable of doing. And when I summited the mountain, it really changed so many things in my life.
How long did it take you to get up to the top?
We did 5 days up, 2 days down. And it was, so the hardest part is the last night. So you start about 11 p.m. and you leave from about 15,000 plus feet up to the 19,341. And so you hike through the darkness, and that was definitely the most challenging part.
And what was the scariest moment doing that?
The scariest moment was actually once we were at the top. A couple of the people on our team really struggled with getting enough oxygen. And so one person was basically having hallucinations, and another person was their lips were turning blue. So obviously when you get to an altitude like that, you can't stay very long. So it was literally, we took pictures and we headed back down just to make sure that everybody was going to be okay.
Yeah, that sounds a bit terrifying for me. I think the most terrifying bit would be when I bought the ticket to go over there.
That was the exciting part. That was the exciting part, thinking, okay, I'm doing something completely out of my wheelhouse. Let's go.
Awesome. And you do coaching as well, Simone?
I actually am a keynote speaker. So I don't coach. I just speak to different women's organizations and at women's events and women's associations. That's really where my focus is right now.
And you're also a CPA, but you don't talk about that, do you? Do you talk about more of the, becoming a better you type thing? I
mean, I really talk about building confidence from the inside out. It's really something that I think a lot of times people think that it is something that we're born with. It's a personality trait, but just like everything else, it's a skill, and we have to build it. And it takes time. It takes work, just like learning a new language. You got to put in the same amount of time to build confidence. And that's really what I talk about. I also talk to philanthropic organizations, because having adopted 3 children, and I have a lot of stories that kind of help them, different organizations, bring awareness. And also, obviously, when you're speaking for a philanthropic organization, the goal is to help them raise funds. So I do that as well, which I really enjoy.
And you talk to like women's business groups and things. And on the topic of confidence, I always think there's a bit of I find that women this is always difficult territory to get into, but women are more conscientious before they claim to know something. Men have more of a capacity and a privilege, I suppose, to be able to kind of BS their way through things. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of research on that. I mean, if you just look at this one study that shows that women will not apply for a job unless they meet 100% of the requirements, but men will apply when they meet 60%.
Yes.
So
or
they're like, jump in, let's go.
Even none, as I have done before.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that's a good thing. And getting women often sometimes undersell, I guess, themselves. And what types of professionals do you work with mostly?
Kind of across the board. It doesn't matter the organization. I mean, women, my talks are really focused towards working moms, but across the board, I mean, women are women, right? So within different like real estate agents, different events in corporate, and then also things like mothers organizations, because that's something a lot of moms struggle with, is especially if you're a stay-at-home mom, you feel like you're not doing enough. Society puts a label on you, and then you start believing the label. So I'm really speak to different organizations across the board.
Yeah, it's awesome. And what I like about both guests today is that you guys have had success before talking to people, so you've got experience. And sometimes there are people that just become speakers and they haven't actually done a lot of stuff. So to me, that makes a lot of difference. And if you want to book Simone, so do you go US wide with your engagements?
Yes, I do. I go nationally. I will go internationally. I've spoken in Canada before. That's the only other, but I'm really focused on building just wherever there's women, I'll be there.
Well, they're everywhere, Simone. And
exactly.
Yeah, and how does it work?
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, absolutely. If somebody is thinking, look, Simone, I like Simone. How do I get Simone at my next event? What happens?
So you go to my website, there's on my speaking page, so SimoneKnego.com, there's on my speaking page, there's a link for an inquiry to submit the information about the event, and then I'll reach out and have a conversation and make sure we're a good fit.
Wonderful.
That is me.
There you are, looking fabulous. And
thank you.
If you want to have a chat to Simone and also Yosi, all of the details are in the show notes. Let's have a round of applause for our wonderful guests today. All right. Thank you very much, guys. And thanks for listening and watching. I'm going to wrap things up. And well played. And thank you once again. Goodbye. Good day. Good night.
Bye-bye, Julian. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations, Yosi.
Yeah, you